1,000 years, those white cliffs of Dover stood as a symbol of a land that was trodden only by the feet that owned it. But in May 1940, that sanctity was gravely menaced. Norway, Holland, Belgium overrun, France reeling under heavy blows. Britain stood alone and unarmed, except for a mighty spirit of defiance. Then Eden spoke.
Since the war began, the government have received countless inquiries from all over the kingdom, from men of all ages who wish to do something for the defense of their country. Well, now is your opportunity. The name of the new force, which is now to be raised, will be the Local Defense Volunteers. This name describes its duties in 3 words. When on duty, you will form part of the armed forces. And your period of service will be for the duration of the war. In order to volunteer, what you have to do is to give in your name at your local police station.
What time do police stations close?
You ought to know. They don't.
Of course.
I was a corporal in the last war, Dawson. What will you?
Sergeant Major, my lord.
Oh. Well, never mind. Mix yourself a drink and let's get along.
You're not going, Dad?
I am. Sure, they might give him the same beat he had when Napoleon was due.
I tell you, Eden has done things that no one else could have done.
I tell you he hasn't.
I tell you he has.
Well, stop arguing, boys, and have one in the house and let's go.
What?
I said have one in the house.
You're right. Eden has done things nobody else could have done. Mine's a bitter.
Mine's a pint.
And so from north, south, east, and west they came. Fat men, thin men, short men, tall men, men of the contemptible little army, the men of Mons and the Marne and Luce. In every city and town and from every village, street and country lane, they fell in with great-hearted devotion. Men who fought a war to end all war came to stand again at the gates of hell. Don't old soldiers ever die? No, they never die.
After you, Cecil. No, after you, Claude.
Just too bad for the Hun if he puts his foot down where the village smithy stands. He'll get trodden on. Hey, look out, Smithy, you're standing on somebody right now. Thanks. And so they all joined up again. The Smiths, the Browns, the Greens, the Whites, and the Robinsons. The Mackintosh from Auchtermuchty. The Joneses from Innibu, look you, whatever. And the Fighting Finnegans from Portadown, County Armagh. All those cities and boroughs and hamlets were awake, and none was more awake than Minor Wallop, one of the warmest cockles on the heart of England. Every single inhabitant of this rural gem was bursting with determination that no one should land on British soil and get away in one piece. You just can't beat people like that. And no village was more determined than Minor Wallop, unless it was perhaps Major Wallop, another cockle on the heart of our land, and only 5 miles as the postmistress flies from Minor Wallop. These 2 villages were deadly rivals in everything from darts to digging for victory, from knitting to ner and spell. But in July 1940, Major Wallop received 3 pairs of outsized rompers. Officially, overalls, denim, 3. Come on, number 2, press on the butt of that broomstick. That's better. Ah, those proud and shining faces. Wonderful. But now, look at the 2 spies from Minor Wallop. Not so wonderful. Major Wallop's uniforms put Minor Wallop back in the 2nd Division. For 3 months, Major Wallop was the best equipped platoon in the district. But came October. Minor Wallop got 6 rifles and 7 bayonets, all covered in Vaseline. But even the odd bayonet was used like a long-range toothpick. Ah, Major Wallop felt the blow. They couldn't have been more disturbed if they'd found fruit salts in their beer. But in December 1940, they came through to the top again. Rifles, bayonets, denim, ad lib, and 1 gas mask, ipso facto. You hold your breath in awe, especially if you've had onions. But in the early weeks of 41, Minor Wallop received ammunition for their rifles. Now they could really get down to business. Shh, a heavy tread. Halt, who goes there? Halt, who goes there? Halt, or else give a last message to your mother. Ah. But Minor Wallop's glory was short-lived. Came the icy winds of March and they blew to Major Wallop battle dress. That was a blow right across the rearguard defenses of Minor Wallop. But it didn't break their hearts, no sir. They'd show Major Wallop that uniform or no uniform, they're a better drilled platoon. Just you watch. Move to the right. Right. Turn. Left. Left. Right. Really, George, you of all people.
Turned out nice again, hasn't it?
But George, look at the others.
Ooh, they're all wrong. I'm the only one that's right.
But my order was move to the right, turn.
Yeah, but you give it on the wrong foot. You can't kid me.
All the same, you're going to cop it.
Cop at me foot. See that V? That means volunteer. Nobody can shout at me.
Watch your rear, George.
Never mind about that. You watch your...
Left, right, left, right, left, right. Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. Oi. Now. Blank file, second from the left. That's better. Front rank. Pull up your uniform, George. Damn it, man, you're nearly naked.
Pull up my uniform, indeed. Why don't they give us some proper uniforms? Major Wallop have got 'em, and we're as good as them any day.
Now, George, stop grumbling. Look at that smart fellow over there talking to your platoon commander. I think he's got some good news for you.
How do you know?
I'm reading the script.
Oh.
Hello, what's up? No? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It can't be true, and yet it is. The uniforms have arrived. Wait for it, stop! You can't break ranks without my permission. This is a parade, not a bargain basement. I have a good mind to keep you like this for the rest of the parade. Jolly bad show. Who ever heard of soldiers leaving parade without being dismissed? Size 6? Thank you. And a pair of trousers. Come and get it! At last they're issued with a pair of khaki trousers and a blouse that looks as if it's cut for a lady. Just the thing for cleaning windows. But it's a bit tight under the arches, isn't it, George?
Save me wearing the shirt.
And so the original volunteers, now the home guard of the two villages, became better equipped and more efficient. The ill-trained rabble of May 40 had a regimental appearance in 42. They even got used to sleeping in the open with their trousers on. And their healthy rivalry continued unabated. Look at the Major Wallop Home Guard at their anniversary parade. But even the guards can't do without their band, so why should Major Wallop? They can blow as hard and as cunningly as any guardsman. Is Minor Wallop then to do its marching without accompaniment? Perish the thought. Look at that chap in the front rank. What's he reaching for in his haversack? Is it by any chance his field marshal's baton? No. Is it perhaps a little stick of Blackpool rock? No, sir. Once more, Minor Wallop has plus that little something the others haven't got. It's a yoke. It's a song.
That's quite right, mister. And it's time for you to go and have one.
I will.
Hear those marching feet down the village street. It's the home guard going on parade. Every mother's son shouldering a gun, out to show the stuff from which we're made. We're all set to win, and I'll tell you all about the mob that I am in. When the lads of the village get cracking, and the whole platoon turns out, off we go, rain or snow, just like proper soldiers all in a row. At a pub on the right, we stayed all the night, and the barmaid smiled at me. I brought me pajamas, now don't say a word. I used to be a Boy Scout, and so I came prepared. When the lads of the village are cracking down the road to victory, a poacher for fun went bang with his gun at a rabbit near a tree. A diving for cover, a rabbit is fast, but when we heard that gun go off, the rabbit was last. When the lads of the village get cracking down the road to victory. A girl on the land was waving her hand, as happy as can be. Talk of invasion, she wasn't afraid. She winked her eye at me and murmured, come on, invade. When the lads of the village get cracking down the road to victory. When the lads of the village get cracking and the whole platoon turns out, off we go, rain or snow, just like proper soldiers all in a row. Now I never could learn to right or left turn, and the sergeant swore at me. Right about turn there, I did it so fast. The sergeant said, oh blimey, right about something at last. When the lads of the village get cracking down the road to victory.
Platoon, dismiss!
Hey, lads, make way for the band. What's yours, George? A whiskey?
No, I'll have a shandy. I can kick up a bit of shindy when I've had a shandy.
Shandy? That's slow poison.
Well, I'm in no hurry.
Shandy and a whiskey, please, Sam.
I was reading how if you pass a current of 20,000 volts across a glass of whiskey and the current jumps it, the whiskey's poor. But if it makes contact and produces either iron slag, alum, or arsenic, then it's fair.
How do you know when the whiskey's good?
If the whiskey chases the current back in the generator.
And platoon commander you are, Sam.
Thank you, Josh.
You should have marched us through Major Wallop.
Yes, and given George a chance to put those squeaky mouth organs to shame.
Now, wait a minute, lads. Don't drown me. I don't want to go home like old Josh did last night.
What, do you mean to say I was sozzled?
No, I'm not saying a word, Josh, but I saw you going down the high street with your arm round a horse's neck singing, "My sister and I."
Orderly Corporal. Orderly Corporal. Who is the bloke who's Orderly Corporal today?
Look on the board, Joe. I stuck the list up there last night.
Thanks, George.
You're welcome.
Well, then. Orderly Corporal?
Oh, Joe, I've told you, I've stuck
Yes,
it on...
George.
Well, why don't you have a look at it?
I've had a look at it, George.
What are you shouting about? You know who the orderly corporal is.
Yes, George. You are, George.
Well, what are you worried about?
Well, put a jerk into it.
Yes, Sergeant.
Have you made out the confounded guard list for Thursday?
Sergeant, what horrible language.
Have you?
Well, I had a bit of bother with it, you see. I've paired everybody up champion up to the 16th, and then I see I'm on with myself.
The list should have been on the board last night. Now, come on, sit down. I'll type it while you check up. What's the idea of that?
Well, it's thirsty work making out guard lists, Sergeant.
I suppose you can't expect anything else with the orderly room in a pub.
Can you think of a better place? You know, they ought to call us foam guards.
Now, let's see. It's for Thursday, isn't it? Yeah. Let's put one, Bert Ashworth.
Oh, you can't put Bert down for Thursdays.
Why not?
Pictures. He's doing a bit of courting with the Williamses, his girl. Last time they went out together, they spent 2 and 9pence.
That's not a lot of money.
It's all she had.
Well, how about Harry Holden?
Oh, no. Darting Thursdays.
Have they a match on?
Well, most every Thursday.
You'd have to miss it if the invasion started.
He'd miss the invasion.
When is Sam Ingleby down for?
1 moment, Sarge. Monday.
Right, we'll put him Thursday.
Hey, but that means mucking up Monday's list. In any case, he won't come Monday.
He won't come Monday? Why not?
Band practice. I'm teaching him the uke. He wanted to learn the piano, but I said he couldn't carry it on the parade ground.
What's the matter with you? One band's enough in the platoon.
Well, what if I become a casualty?
Bah. Oh, and talking about casualties, what's this I hear about our last manoeuvres? The umpire said you were machine-gunned and refused to lie down.
Oh, the big fibber. I was machine-gunned and he said I was dead, but I wasn't. I was staggering forward, weak from loss of blood and exhaustion, bravely trying to recapture our lost position.
Well, in future, when you're told you're dead, you're dead.
Yes, Sarge.
Now, what about Jack Warrington?
Oh, no, he can only come every other Wednesday.
What's he doing the other Wednesday?
Getting over the other Tuesday, that's his night out.
I've got to find 6 men every night for this confounded guard. How on earth can I if they're either going to pictures, darting, or learning ukes? Here, you try it. I'm going to have a drink.
Oh, what about Ben?
Ben, look at the list. He wouldn't come on Thursday. He's on guard tonight.
Hello. Is our Ben here?
No.
Well, he can't come tonight if he comes. Will you tell him?
No, I won't. He's got to come. He's on guard.
On guard? What for?
In case there's an invasion, he's got to stop the Germans.
What, all by himself?
No, there'll be 6 of us.
Well, he can't come anyway.
Why not?
His mother wants him.
Well, his mother can't have him. He's got to be on guard from 02:00 hours to 08:00 hours.
But what time?
I've told you 02:00 hours to 08.
Oh, I thought you were singing something.
Oh, go away, woman. You don't even know there's a war on.
No, you do, I suppose. I'd like to know what you'd be doing if them German parachuters started dropping.
We've got secret orders.
Yeah, does our Ben know them?
No, he doesn't. Nobody knows them. That's the secret. Hello? Headquarters, 7th Platoon speaking. Oh, no, sir. Sorry, sir. Code, sir. Yes, sir. This is Apple speaking. Yes, sir. Repeat, sir. From banana, stop. Plum and apple to stand by. Serial 235-V/Z, part 1. Opposition, pear and raisin. Yes, sir. Nuts, sir. I said nuts, sir. What? Oh, no. No, that's the code answer. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll have it altered. Thank you, sir.
Here, who was that?
The greengrocer. Put that down. You can't go messing about with things like that. How do you know it's not loaded?
Well, isn't it?
Isn't it? We don't leave loaded rifles around when people like you are about.
Yeah, how does it work?
Well, you put a pea in that end and you blow through there. Now, look, Maggie, do me a favour. Take a long walk on a short pier.
There, now you've broken it.
It's a proper bullet.
Yeah, would it have shot you if I'd pulled the doings?
It would and all.
Oh, how exciting. Would it have been in the papers?
Yes, and you'd have been in prison.
I shouldn't. I should have told them I was defending the honour.
That's wishful thinking. Come on.
No, I won't go. Not until you promise to tell our Ben.
I'm telling you, Ben, nothing. Now go away, woman. You're interfering with the war.
Yes, and if my mother comes after him, she'll stop the war. Never mind about interfering with it.
Corporal!
Yes, sir?
What was Maggie Turner doing in here, eh?
Defending her on... nothing. Looking for their Ben. Hey, Sam, who left a live round in this rifle last night?
What's the one?
Well, I might have been shot.
He does look pale, doesn't he?
You'd look pale if you'd a rifle stuck in your stomach with a live round in it.
Who stuck it there?
Maggie... never mind.
I've got it. I'd never have thought it of you, George.
Now, listen, Joe.
Don't make it worse, my lad.
Couldn't be worse. I mean, there's nothing worse about it. She was just mucking about and we were having a bit of fun.
Whose fun, hers or yours?
Now, don't be daft, the pair of you. I was telephoning. When I come off phone, she was pointing the rifle at me.
Telephoning who?
Banana.
Banana?
If you don't believe me, read that. Maggie Turner. Wonder what they'll think next. If I want anybody to shoot me, I wouldn't choose Maggie Turner. I'd drown myself.
Shut up, George.
Yes, Sam. Sir?
This is interesting. An exercise will take place when all Home Guard battalions in the zone will be mustered. The speed by which attacking or defensive positions are taken up and armament brought into action will be deciding factors. Date and 0 hour to be notified later.
We'll attack Major Wallop, I bet.
Yeah, or the other way around, perhaps.
No, they attacked us the last time. We're playing away this time.
By gum, this is the biggest show we've ever had. And we've got to lick those Major Wallops. They got a bit cocky after that last exercise.
That umpire.
Yes, that's how I felt, too. He said I was shot and I wasn't. I was staggering forward, weak from loss of blood.
Well, stagger to the telephone, will you, and answer it?
Yes, Sam. Sir. Hello, Apple speaking. Hey? Apple speaking. Apple! Yes, this is 7th Platoon, headquarters of the Home Guard. That's why I said Apple speaking.
Shh, George, that is secret.
Oh, sorry, that last part was secret. Who is that? Oh, hello, Station Master. How are all your little trains?
Trains are all right, but I've got a sort of a firearm here. Yes. Oh, it's too big. It's been here a week and we've got no room. Eh? Well, I should say it's a kind of a gun, only different. Would it be for you a lot?
Hold on. Hey, Joe, are we expecting a sort of a kind of a firearm that looks like a sort of a kind of a gun, only it's different?
Yes, Jack? What's the headache?
Well, there's no label on it, Joe. Come off in transit, most likely. It's a gun with knobs on. Hey, Bill, what do you say that was?
It's a Vickers gun.
Oh, yes, that's right. It's a Vickers gun.
Vickers gun?
What is it, Joe?
There's a Vickers gun at the station with no label on.
A Vickers gun at the station with no label on? That means it's for us.
But we're not expecting a Vickers gun.
Of course we are. Father Christmas sent it for us. Hello, Jack. That Vickers gun at the station? Yes, it's for us. We're expecting it. Yes, we'll send for it. Don't tell a soul. Be like Mum, keep Dad. Keep Mum. And remember, even walls have ears and radishes repeat. Vickers gun.
You're right, George. It is for us. And how? What price Major Wallop now, eh?
We'll paralyze them in the big exercise.
Maggie Turner says don't forget to tell their Ben.
All right. But you can't scrounge a Vickers gun.
Can't I? I scrounged the town hall in 1917.
Well, we better get it quick before Major Wallop gets it.
Why should they?
Well, they always seem to be in about our secrets.
Yeah, so they do. How's that motorbike of yours go, George?
Well, I raced a Spitfire on the road to Midgley last Wednesday and I was only in half throttle.
Fine. Now you're out to beat the world's record from here to the railway station to get that Vickers. We've got to have it now or bust, so get cracking.
You leave it to me. And I'll put all the fines down to the Home Guard. Do I have to sign for it?
Not if you've got any sense. It's a rule in the army, never sign for anything if you can get it without.
Well, I was only asking.
Someone may ask him where he got it from.
Well, I'll tell him I found it under a gooseberry bush.
Here, has our Ben come yet?
No, he hasn't.
He'll cop it if I see him.
And he'll cop it if I don't. He looks like copping it all round. Gangway! Gangway! Oi! What's Gangway?
Gangway! All right, I'm coming to that. But will you take me to the pictures if I tell you? Well, there's a Vickers gun at the station.
A Vickers gun? No label? It'll be first come gets it.
And that'll be us.
Thank you, Alice. Well, you can go to the pictures. I'll give you the money afterwards. What? Well, hold your own hand.
Why, you? What do you think you were doing? I might have fell off then. By gum, I have done.
You're in a heck of a hurry, aren't you?
Sure, you're not exactly loitering yourself.
Where you making for, anyway?
I'd be daft if I told you. I've got secret orders.
Secret orders, my foot. Who's going to trust you with secret orders? And look at this!
Well, what are you grumbling about? You can borrow mine.
Anything I'm going to get to the...
Get to the where?
Oh, never you mind.
Funny, I'm going there as well.
Where?
To the never you mind.
Where do you want to go to, lads?
Oh, thanks, Mr. Stubbs. To the,
Yeah, that's what I want to go to as well, Mr. Stubbs.
Well, I've only got room for one besides Daisy.
Good.
Get out of me. Come on, Daisy. Excuse me, Daisy. Come on, get back. Show a bit of horse sense. Clean cow sense. Get back. Oh. Of course you would. Have you got room for a little teeny-weeny one?
Sorry, chum.
Where's the fire?
What?
There's been an alarm from the post down the road.
Oh, fire. Well, yes, it's in the railway station.
Oh, the railway station?
Yes, in the waiting room. It's the first fire they've had for years.
Is it bad?
Oh, shocking. Can't you smell it? I can. It's terrible. If you don't hurry up, it'll be out before you get there.
All right, hop on.
Get off! Look after this bloke, Punter, sending out false alarms. George, what's all this about?
Me false? No, honestly, Mr. Punter, I didn't really.
Oh, no? Fire at the railway station, eh? We just come from the railway station. There's no fire there, see?
No, well, you see, I was going that way, and I thought, I thought I sniffed a smell. I've got a very sensitive nose, you see.
Sensitive nose, eh?
Yes.
Well, this'll make it even more sensitive. Bursting fire alarms, was it, George?
It wasn't me, it was Everett Manley.
Mr. Manley? Well, I've just seen him in Farmer Stubbs' car turning towards the station.
I know he's turning towards the station, that's the trouble. But he busted the fire alarm with a lamp from his motorbike. If you don't believe me, go and see.
Right, I'll go along and investigate. Now, you wait here. And if you're wrong, George, you're for it.
Hey, what's the idea? Is this your bike, Bert? Well, can I borrow it? It's terribly important. Military matters. I've got to get to the station in a hurry. I'll bring it back safe, honest I will.
All right, George. Hey, when you come back,
Whistle. Here. Whistle. Whistle. Oh, whistle. Any more room, chum?
Sorry, I'm full up. Hey, you a soldier?
No, home guard.
Never mind, we've got a navy.
Hey, look out!
You know, that was a near thing then, son.
It was his fault.
Yes, I know, but you were going too fast.
Too fast?
Yeah.
I can follow a lorry on my skates.
What, on them?
Yes, and I can do big circles on 1 foot.
That's nothing. I can do figures.
Figure eights?
Yes. You lend me your skates and I'll show you.
My mother said I mustn't lend them.
Oh. Well, I can do figures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 12. Any figures you like.
On 1 foot?
On 1 foot.
All right, then I'll lend you one skate.
Right. Well, you better let me have the other one, then I can show you separately on each foot, you see.
And backwards?
And backwards, sideways, forwards, any way you like. Right, now you watch me. No nonsense. Look, superior officer talking.
Superior officer, my foot.
See that?
Don't make me laugh, Colonel.
I command you to hand over that gun. Lance Corporal speaking.
You're too late, as usual.
Well, I shall get my platoon commanders to tell my sergeant to tell me to put you under arrest.
Carry on, Lance Jack.
All right, I'll do it myself. Consider yourself under arrest.
I'll consider that on my way back.
All right, well, if you do,
Who's your best friend?
Give over.
I'm not speaking of your love affairs. A soldier's best friend is his rifle. Anybody in there? No. Thanks. Now, who's your best friend?
I'm not telling you, not in front of him.
Oh, I've just told you it's your rifle. What are you giggling at?
Do I have to take it to the pictures?
Oh, hey, George. You take him now.
No, I can't.
But it's only for 10 minutes. I forgot to shut up the hens. But I'll be back.
Hey, Josh. Oh, hens are worse than uns in this platoon. All right. Well, what's the order of the day in case of invasion?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, we've rehearsed it enough, haven't we? Josh sounds the alarm. Sam immobilizes all the cars. Joe unlocks all the pillboxes, and the sergeant mixes himself a good stiff drink.
I don't know.
Hey, you're a proper twerp. You'll have to practice a bit longer, my lad.
Have you seen our Ben?
No, I haven't seen your Ben.
Ooh, aren't you in a mess? Looks as though you'd lost the ball by yourself. Even our Ben don't get his uniform as mucky as that.
No, because your Ben never puts it on.
Yes, he does. For gardening.
Oh, woman!
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Ooh. What do you think you're doing?
Practicing like you said, Corporal. I didn't know there was one in.
You didn't know that... Where do you think that bullet went?
Well, it's not gone far anyway. The sights were only set at 200 yards.
Sights were set at... I suppose if the sights were set at 2,000, the bullet would have gone further.
That's right.
Yeah, and if the sights had been set at nothing, the bullet would have stopped in the barrel.
It wouldn't have gone off.
Get out of it. Go away, and next time bring your catapult. It's nitwits like you that make wars dangerous. You got it? Got the gun? Yes, but he oughtn't to be allowed to handle one.
No, not that one, the Vickers.
Oh, the Vickers?
Yes.
No. No, well, you see,
What have you done with it?
I never had it.
But we just phoned to the station and they said that a home guard had called for it.
Aye, that's right. It was Everett Manley.
Everett Manley?
So Major Wallop has done it on us again? Well, I did my best. I couldn't
How
help
did the
it.
blighters find out about it? That's what I'd like to know.
It's as clear as mud.
What is?
Who is Major Wallop's platoon officer?
Alf Pemberton, of course.
Yes, Alf Pemberton. And how often have you seen his daughter Mary hanging round George's garage lately? Oh, don't talk so silly. You know very well I never told Mary or anybody else. And don't you try and say that I did, because if you
He can say what he thinks, and so will I. You've let the whole platoon down. That's what you've done. We were counting on that gun for our stunts against Major Wallop, and now they've got it against us.
Well, I did my best, Sam, sir.
I made you Lance Corporal last week.
Yes, acting and unpaid.
Yes, you're still unpaid, but no longer acting.
That's all now. Put your rifle away and shoot off.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Shooting off.
How's that? What price mine a Wallop now?
He's a grand gun. Have a good mind to make you corporal for this.
Well, why don't you chance it?
Right, put your stripes up when you like. Steady on.
I'm celebrating.
Well, don't celebrate with our reserve ammunition. I've got to account for it.
Dad, you're wanted in the shop.
Mary, come here. Come and see what Everett's got hold of.
What is it?
What is it? And your father a platoon commander in the Home Guard. It's a Vickers gun, lass. Everett scrounged it.
Right under the nose of a chap from Minor Wallop.
Aye, and who do you think that was?
Me. Hello, Mr. Pemberton. How do, Mary? I brought your first lot of spindles. I think they'll be all right.
They better be.
Oh, and another thing, you needn't bother about stopping under arrest. I've been unfrocked.
What?
Well,
Oh, so you've lost your stripes.
well, only temporary if I want them
Well,
back.
it might interest you to know that I've just got a couple.
Go on.
Ah, that's right. Promoted for meritorious service.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Aye, and this gun will make a bit of difference when we have our next dust up with your lot.
Father, you're wanted in the shop.
You better keep this on the lock and key. Somebody might take a fancy to it.
Ah, just as well.
Well, call round about 7. You can take Mary at pictures.
Right, that's a date. Come on, give us a hand with this gun.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Go away.
Corporal speaking.
Mary, who wants what in shop? Has Mrs. Jones called about her rump?
Never mind about Mrs. Jones's rump. How many more times have I got to tell you to stop making dates for me with Everett Manley?
Oh, but surely you'd like to go to pictures tonight with him?
That's for me to decide, not you.
Don't be so silly. Everett's a coming man. He's got prospects. Look at his garage. 4 pumps. And you compare him with that gormless chump of yours.
George is not gormless.
Huh? Well, just look at him.
George, put that down.
I can't. Orders is orders.
Can't you see they're trying to make a fool of you?
Eh?
They want to make you look small in front of me.
Oh, that's the game, is it? Well, I'm not standing for it anymore. What kind of people do they think I am? It's all your fault. Why didn't you stop where you come from?
I wish it had.
And there's another bit of trouble you don't know anything about.
What?
Sam Elliott and Joe Preston think I tipped you off about this gun being at the station and that you passed it on to your dad and Everett Manley.
Well, of all the rotten things to say. Why, even if you had let out the secret, is it likely that I'd say or do anything to please that swank pot Everett?
It's jumpy when you talk like that, Mary. I feel different already, really, I do.
Hey, how about that gun? Come on, double up.
Sorry, old man, just gone off duty.
Pick that gun up at once.
I'm a civilian now. I'm out of the army until the next parade at Minor Wallop. And as far as I'm concerned, you can...
George!
Pick it up yourself.
All right, go back to Minor Wallop. But don't forget to tell them we've got something for the day of the big stunt.
We don't want it. We're not worried about an old Vickers. We don't have to.
Then why were you so anxious to get it this morning?
Well, every good Home Guard platoon always tries to improve its equipment. As far as that's concerned, Sam Elliott just said to me before I come out, George, lad, tell them they can have it. We've got sewed up our sleeve that'll put a dozen old Vickers to sleep.
Such as what?
Such as... Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, and I bet you would, too.
George, have you really got something better than they have?
Well, not exactly. See, I had to bluff a bit. Why should I let him get away with all the big stuff?
Oh, I'm sorry, George. Would have been grand if you really had a surprise for them.
Don't I wish I had. Wait a minute, stop where you are. Don't move. I've got it. Irene! Irene!
What on earth's going on?
Come on, hurry up, love. We've got to get a move on.
Why? Are the bailiffs in?
Irene, I've told you before, we don't want any of that Lambeth slang here.
Oh, that's not Lambeth. In Lambeth, we don't call them bailiffs, we call them bums.
Irene, I'll never learn you.
Well, what's all the hurry about?
Well, we've got a rush, hush job on. We're going to make a tank.
A tank? What for? Goldfish?
No, you fathead. A tank for men. A tank that goes chug, chug, plop, plop, chug, chug, bang, bang, brrr. A real tank.
You mean one of those things we read about in the desert?
That's right.
Well, how are we going to make that?
Out of this.
I suppose you just wave your wand and it turns into a tank instead of a pumpkin.
Now, look here, young lady. I don't want any cheek from you. I'm the foreman on this job, and you've got to take your orders from me. From now on, it's overtime all the time, and no squealing to the evacuees union.
Okay.
If we only had a wireless, we could have music while we work.
Never mind. Tell me a story instead.
What kind of a story do you want?
A ghost story to make me blood curdle.
Ooh, you bloodthirsty little geezer. Well, get ready. Woo! A miser old once hid his gold.
Where?
Beneath a ruined tree.
Go on.
My girl and I, we set out to try to find that LSD. The lightning flash.
Coming up. Butterfingers.
Sorry, chump. Tart.
It's really beginning to look like a tank.
Yeah, thanks to you, Irene. You're a champion nut chucker-upper. Nut.
Coming up. It's like the zoo, isn't it? Me throwing you nuts.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Oh, is it?
What you going to call it?
Oh, I've got a nice name for this.
Let's call it Overtime. It's taken enough.
No, we're going to call it Mary.
It's only a van, wants water probably. You keep on the job, and don't load.
Not love. Oh, Mary, it's you. Come in. Yaren, come a bit further and sit down. There's nothing to sit on. Why didn't you tell me who it was? I'd have washed my hands and washed myself up a bit.
All right, bend down.
Huh?
Bend down. You'll do at a pinch.
Thank you. Well, what do you think of it?
Oh, it's grand, but what is it?
What is it? Be your age.
Irene.
Oh, why, of course it's a tank.
Hi. Irene and me are very good at tanks, aren't we, love? We thought we'd knock one up for the Home Guard.
George, how marvellous. Dad and Everett will feel pretty blue when they see that chasing after them.
Well, that's the snag. It's not quite ready for its bit of chasing yet.
Why won't it go? Isn't it finished?
Well, yes and no. It's finished, all about one little thing. It's, well, it's a rotor arm, but you wouldn't know what a rotor arm is.
I certainly do know. Rotor arm is, well, it's a fidgety little gadgety thing that fits on there.
Fancy you knowing that. You're right. It's one of those things you take out in case of invasion, and when you want to put it back again, you can never find it.
Now I come to think of it, Everett's got dozens of them hanging up in his garage. People leave them there when their cars are laid up.
Yes, I've about as much chance of getting one of them as Hitler has of being Mayor of Minor Wallop.
Oh, can't you get a spare anywhere?
Well, everywhere I go, they tell me, don't you know there's a wire on?
Oh, never mind, George. You'll pick one up somewhere. You're a good scrounger.
I'd do anything to get this tank working.
It's Everett Manley.
He's come about his spindles. We'd better get out of here quick, Mary. I don't want him nosing around my tank.
Take your time, don't mind me. I've got all day. Hello? You here? Looking round the estate?
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't ask your permission.
No harm in Mary just popping in when she's passing, is there?
No harm at all if you get your work done. Where are my spindles? How do you expect me to get my stuff done in time when you're always late?
Eee, what a whopper. The big storyteller. This fellow'd make Dr. Gobbles jealous. I've never been late yet, and you know it.
Well, if they're ready, let's get them. I'll put them on the back of my bike, and I'll at least be sure that I've got them.
Oh, you could... Hey, you can't put it in! Get out of it!
Why not?
Sort of private-like.
Private, my foot. Open the door.
You go and take a running jump in the lake.
What's that?
You heard. You haven't got cloth ears.
What's going on in there? Why all the mystery?
Wouldn't you like to know? This is the Minor Wallop Shush department. It's a restricted area. You can't go in there without a permit.
Oh. Unless you're Mary Pemberton, of course.
Unless you're Mary Pemberton, of course.
It's nice, very nice, when the daughter of my platoon commander starts hobnobbing with the enemy.
Enemy?
Minor Wallop's our enemy in the next operation. I suppose you wouldn't be doing a spot of fifth column for them.
Oh, stop playing soldiers for a minute.
Hey, this is my garage, and I won't have Mary spoken to like that.
You dry up and see that those parts are up at my place at once.
Well, aren't you taking them?
No, I'm not. It's your job. Get on with it.
Nice fella. Nobody likes him.
Yes, it's a pity about Everett. Never mind, George. Put your things in the car, and I'll drop them at his garage.
Will you, Mary? You're a real pal. That'll save me a trip. Well, goodbye, love. I mean, Mary. Thanks very much.
It's a pleasure, George. What's the matter with the old bus?
Well, he usually starts first kick.
I know, it's most odd. Where is it?
It's funny.
Funny? I don't think so. You said you'd do almost anything to get a rotor arm.
Yes, I know, but I... You don't think that I would... Oh. Oh! I'll talk to you in a minute, young lady. Here it is. Irene's been having a bit of a game with it. She's trying it on the tank. Fancy her doing a thing like that. Scream, isn't she?
I don't think it's very amusing. I should have thought you could have found something better to do than teach that kiddie how to thieve.
But, Mary, you don't think I'd teach Irene how... Well, you've done it properly this time, haven't you?
But you said you wanted a rotor arm.
I know I did, but why did you have to take that one? Wouldn't fit anyway. Hello? Yes, speaking. Oh, yes, Sam, sir. On to the NCO? Me? Now? Yeah, but...
Yes. That's what I was saying. Yes. Harry hasn't turned up, so you better come round for duty and get a move on.
But, Alice, I've been very busy one way and another.
Doing what? Holding hands with a Pemberton girl?
No, I haven't, and will you keep your voice down? I'll take you to the pictures on your very first day off.
Honest?
Yes, you want to help me, don't you?
Well, didn't I tell you about that gun at the station?
Yes, that was a jolly good bit of spying. But what I want to know is if you can find out something without anybody knowing.
Not off, I can't. Didn't I find out Mr. Johnson was married? Just in time, too. Pity he was my type.
This is about George. He's up to something in his garage, and I want you to find out what it is.
That's easy.
Good.
Okay, Chief.
Just a minute. On your next day off, trust me.
Not far, I wouldn't.
Why don't you look where you're going?
Well, why didn't you go where you were looking? You were on the wrong side of the road, wasn't it? And besides, you never put your hand out. And if you did put your hand out, it was too late. Reporting for duty, Joe. I mean, Sergeant.
Got a football coupon you can fill up?
No.
Pity.
But, Sam, Mr. Elliot said he wanted me for corporal again.
I never said anything about corporal. I said I wanted you to act as orderly corporal because we couldn't get anyone else.
Well...
No other reason, so knuckle down and get started.
And I suppose you're going to tell me the first job is making up the duty list.
Right first time, George. That's why orderly corporals were born.
Here we are. Get on with it. Come in. Come in. See who that is, Corporal. Temporary, acting, unpaid Lance.
Well, what's to do?
Tell the sergeant I can't come Thursday.
Come and tell him yourself.
Not me. I signed the pledge as a lad and I've never set foot in a pub.
You signed the pledge with the Home Guard as well, so come in and get your orders.
No, the other pledge has priority.
Well, what do you expect the sergeant to do? Come and shout his orders through the door?
You fetch your orders outside.
Well, why can't you come Thursday?
Temperance meeting.
You're a proper little playboy, aren't you? Why weren't you on parade yesterday?
I had a headache.
Headache? You don't smoke, you don't drink, you've no girlfriend.
And I still had a headache.
Of course, what's wrong with you? Your halo's too tight. Oi, Matthews is a washout for Thursday temperance binge.
That's your headache. Find another man.
But there's nobody else. I'll get you cockeyed one day if it's the last thing I do. Ben any good for Thursday, Sergeant?
Well, he was absent last night. Put him down.
Here, have you got our teapot?
No, we haven't, and you can't come in here.
I am in. Our Ben brought it last night.
Your Ben wasn't here last night.
I know, he couldn't stop. That's why I left the teapot.
Well, go and tell your Ben to come now, and I'll give him the teapot.
I don't think I'll bother. I know where it is. Oh. He's a tidy soldier, is our Ben.
Listen to this, Joe. As a test of Home Guard efficiency, the exercise scheduled will now be a full-dress invasion rehearsal by the military. Ha! All Home Guard units in the country will participate. Orders to be notified. Hoo-hoo!
It'll be the biggest show ever.
Let battle commence.
You're a fine one to talk about let battle commence.
Yes, if you hadn't let Everett Manley beat you to it, we'd have had that Vickers gun.
Ah, you big gump.
I've got it.
Got what? Huh? The Vickers?
No, but what's wrong with us getting it back again?
Yes, they'd give it to us, wouldn't they?
Well, not willing they wouldn't, but I know Everett Manley's garage inside out. I go there every week. What's wrong with me taking a few men over there tonight? You know, real commander stuff. Rush the sentry, get inside the garage, and Bob's your uncle.
That's an idea, Joe. Righto, my lad, I'll give you a chance. Take half a dozen men tonight and good luck.
Well, if I get it, can I have my stripe back?
If you get it, I'll give you 2 stripes.
Sam.
Hmm?
I suppose you couldn't let me have one on account, like.
What for?
Well, I can't very well command a raid with Cobham Garden private, can I?
No. Here.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, we've been here 5 minutes. Do you want us or don't you? Otherwise, we'll go home.
That's what I like about this platoon. All spit and polish. George, go and mount the guard.
Aye, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
You know, Sam, I don't like that idea. We've no right to that gun.
Well, the moral they. If we get it, who are they going to complain to? They scrounged it from us in the first place, didn't they? Use your brains, Joe.
Guard all present and correct, sir. 3 missing.
But listen, George, they've got an NCO and 6 men on guard at Everett's garage all night.
Ah, but I've got an idea about them. Irene.
Who?
My little evacuee kid. That's where you want it.
Ah, and that's where he's got it?
Aye, and that's where he's keeping it.
What's that?
Help, fire, murder.
What the devil's going on? Something up or something?
Put one for the road, love.
Turn out the guard. We'd better check up on this.
I'm screamed dry.
Well, never mind, love. You can have all my sweet coupons.
And a new set of tonsils.
Yes, now that concludes your broadcast for tonight, so get off home and mind how you go. Where's George? No! you get here? Airmail, I think. Follow me.
Hey, where are you off to?
Take your hand off of a lady, can't you?
Search the garage and the guard room. Harry, you watch outside. Josh, you guard the prisoner.
Yes. Putting alarm and despondency, that's what I calls it. Now, come on, answer my question. Was it you that was screaming just now?
You're the copper, you tell me.
Any luck, Tom?
Not so far.
Hurry up, we've got to find it. A lot depends on this.
Now, for the very last time, will you
What's
answer...
going on here?
That's just what I'm trying to find out, Mr. Manley, both by cross-examination and interrogation.
Why, if it isn't that evacuated kid from Minor Wallop.
What's she doing here at this time of night?
Carol singing.
I've got a feeling there's something fishy going on here, and I wouldn't mind betting it's that Minor Wallop crowd. Would this be the operation you told me about?
It might be, for all I know. Come to think, it is early closing. I didn't go to HQ.
Oh, no, you don't. You leave her to us, Punter. She's under arrest as a suspected fifth columnist.
Very good, Mr. Manley. I'll get back and make my report in triplicate.
Where do you think you were going?
I just remembered I shouldn't be here. I always take me blood mixed at 10 sharp, winter and summer.
Well, you're too late. They're closed. Your job is to look after the prisoner until we're ready to go. Now, go on, get cracking.
Good, get out of it.
It's all right, it's only blank. Sit down.
Give me that. You'll wake somebody up if you're not careful. They're coming. 6 of them. Out the back way, lads, quick. Come on, you.
We're being attacked by Minor Wallop, that's what's happening. Now, you do your stuff. Where's that blooming key? Here, Charlie, nip round the back. You may be able to nab some of them. What, without a rifle? Well, act as though you've got one and a machine gun as well. You know, Toker. Go on.
Josh, I've got the gun.
What gun?
The Vickers gun, you old twillop. Stop there and I'll pass it through. Here it is. Now run like blazes in case they get it.
Shut her in my office. Right. We'll get something out of her later.
What up,
Door's locked. Well, unlock it.
Now, come on. You sit in this chair and shove it. Oh, so they put you in here, didn't they?
Who was it?
Them Minor Wallop chaps.
Was George with them?
In command, seemingly.
I thought as much.
The Vickers is gone. Everett, get your men together and try and cut him off at the fork. I'll change. I'll meet you in 2 minutes.
Bing! Hey, what's the idea? I've machine gunned you, I've shot you with a rifle, and what's more, I've bayoneted you. You were dead.
You can't touch me, I'm a tank.
Don't be a silly ass, it's me.
Oh, fast, friend.
What are you doing here, anyway?
One of them slipped inside the garage. Maybe he's in the house.
Oh. Oh, hi.
Yes, George?
Now, you don't have to be frightened, Mary.
I'm not frightened.
Well, you ought to be.
Why?
Well, it's not very often you have rough soldiers bursting into your room like this, do you?
You're not a soldier.
No, well, sometimes you've just got to be as careful of home guards, you know.
You'd better be running along.
But I can't. They're looking for me downstairs.
Oh, are they?
What are you going to do?
Scream for help.
Oh, don't do that.
Why not?
Well, they'll come rushing in here and, well, you don't want them to see you like that, do you?
Oh, what's wrong with me?
Nothing. You look champion. I mean, you've got nothing on. Next to nothing. Besides, what will they think if they find me here?
It's not what they'll think. It's what they'll do.
Well, I'll fight. I warn you. I've got flower bombs and everything. This room will be a terrible wreck by the time they get me.
Don't you dare.
Well, I'm desperate. I've told you. I'm proper desperate. What's that?
Somebody coming.
Oh. They start chucking things. Put your head under the clothes. Horrible murders are about to commence.
No, don't be a fool, George. Get under the bed, quick.
Well, there's just a chance if you keep your head. Just crack mine.
Mary?
Yes?
Are you respectable?
If you mean by that, am I decently clad? The answer is yes.
You all right? I hope you don't mind us crashing in like this.
Not at all. Where's everybody else? You should have included the whole platoon.
This chap said he saw a man getting into the house.
Oh, I've been missing something.
Look out there.
What's that?
Get out of my road. At last I found you, Mr. Pemberton. What about this your blinking gun?
It's the Vickers. Oh, boy, how did you manage it? Don't tell me you got it back single-handed. It's marvelous.
Don't know about that. Some lazy blighter down in your garage handed it to me through the window and told me to run a bank with it.
What?
Done the old soldier on me proper. I don't know who he was, but if only at the blighter here now, I...
Do you know what's happened? They've handed it back to us on a tray. What a bit of jam!
I'll say it is. Anyway, it's put paid to that minor wallop nonsense for tonight. Good work, Jenks. Now go downstairs and sit on it till we settle with this chap who's snooping around here. Come on, boys. Search the house. Use your torches. Some of the rooms aren't blacked out.
There are some things a gentleman does not do, Everett. And looking under a girl's bed is one of them.
I'm sorry, but I thought that...
Doesn't seem to be anyone up here.
Not a sausage.
All right, Punter, we'd better get over to Minor Wallop. Good night, Mary.
What on earth are you going over to Minor Wallop for?
Well, it's like this, Mary. Some of the Minor Wallop boys have been over here to pinch our Vickers. Well, we're not complaining too much about that. All's fair in war. After all, we scrounged it. But to my way of thinking, stealing's different. It's not funny, and it never will be. What do you say, Punter?
I'm here to stamp it out, sir.
Stealing?
Yes, a bunch of rotor arms have been lifted from my office tonight.
Rotor arms? Rotor arms? Well, I never.
Quite a useful little bag to anyone who happens to run a garage. No name's no factorial. Come on, Punter.
You know who he's getting at. Your pal George.
I've had enough. I'm tired. Get out.
Get out. Don't you get out me. A year or two ago, I'd have...
Well, just you try it now.
I'll talk to you in the morning.
Mary. Mary. I know you're there.
After all that, I think you'd better go.
You don't believe what he said, do you?
Well, why not? Sounds pretty logical. And I seem to remember telling you about those rotor arms at Everett's garage.
Oh, but...
I'm tired. Please go. You'll find the scullery roof just below that window. The road's below that, and Minor Wallop's the first turning on the right. Good night.
I'm sorry you don't believe me, Mary. But I'm quite innocent. I didn't pinch him. Really, I didn't. Good night, Mary.
George.
So you pinched the rotor arms?
Well, we wanted one for our tank, didn't we? And anyway, I didn't pinch nothing. I found them where they locked me up. Finding's keeping, that's my motto.
It's all very well having a motto, but you've got me into a right mess, you have. Mary thinks I pinched him whenever it's going to have me put in jail. Here he is now with the copper.
What should we do?
Here, hide these quick. I don't know how old I'll be when I see you again. All right, I'll come quietly.
I don't have to tell you why we are here.
We're making inquiries concerning certain articles, to wit, rotor arms, that are missing from Mr. Manley's garage in Greater Wallop in the county of Loamshire. The said rotor arms being the property and or in the custody of the said Mr. Manley.
Rotor arms?
Don't beat about the bush. Where are they?
I haven't got any rotor arms.
I must caution you that anything you may say can be used in evidence against you.
I don't want to say anything. I want to go to bed.
Come on, Punter, let's search the place.
Hey, you can't do that. Where's your doings? Your piece of paper? Your warrant?
My what?
There's something in that, Mr. Manley. You can't go searching premises without a warrant.
That's right. You'd know that if you'd read your Magna Carta. But Clause 1, no free man can be put to death without his own consent.
What's that got to do with it?
Clause 2, the law has no right to bring soldiers into a lady's house and ask her to mind them.
You can't scare me off with that rubbish. I'm going to pin this thing on you if I have to get a dozen warrants. Come on, Punter.
Hey, just a minute, the light. Well, bye-bye, boys. Glad to have seen you. Oh, and don't forget, any time you're passing, just keep straight on.
What's the matter with this thing?
Put a penny in the slot.
Starter's jammed now.
Man, it doesn't fly off the handle. Well, rotor arms, eh?
How many do you usually carry in your bonnet, Mr. Manley? Proper ordin, I calls it.
Well, I didn't put them there.
Now, be careful. Anything you say will be taken down in evidence against you.
It's your car, Mr. Manley.
Yes, and those are the rotor arms he accused me of stealing. Pretty serious thing to try and pin a thing like that on me, isn't it,
Serious
officer?
it is. I calls it slander. Or would it be libel?
Well, it's liable to be one or the other.
Oh, don't talk a lot of rot. Somebody's planted them on me.
Why don't you turn it in? You know you've been rumbled.
Will you dry up?
Let's not say too much here, Mr. Manley. You come along with me and tell it the sergeant.
You can't do that to me.
He's doing it. Besides, you'll find it all in Clause 3 of the Magna Carta on the back page next to the football results.
Why, I'm not
your... Well, good night. See you on visiting day. Nice work, Irene. Imagine that so-and-so calling me a thief.
Yes.
Still, I should have helped him pick 'em up.
Why?
Well, he wouldn't have missed one. Good night.
Good night, George.
Good girl. Hello, Sam. Hello, Joe.
Morning, George. Lost anything?
No, I was wondering if somebody else had.
We come over to talk about last night.
I was hoping to forget about last night.
We think you put up a bad show, George.
No, it wasn't that, Sam. It was that I was a bit unlucky.
The trouble with you is that you're always what you call a bit unlucky.
Well, you know, every job I tackle goes wrong.
I don't call it unlucky. I call it darn bad soldiering, and that's straight.
Well, I can't say any more than I'm sorry, Joe, and next time...
There isn't going to be a next time. You're through.
You mean...
Yes, Minor Wallaby's going to try and get along without you.
Yeah. You want me to resign, then?
Well, you can't resign now. Government says so. But I'm going to recommend that you be struck off the roll as being totally incompetent and thoroughly inefficient.
So you can hand in your uniform any time you like. We'll find a recruit to fit it.
I just put a couple of tucks in the sleeve.
Sorry, George.
Oh, it's all right, Joe. I've tried to be a good home guard, both on parade and off, right from the time when Joe promoted me.
I promoted you?
Yes, you remember when we first started, you used to let me stand next to the man with the gun?
Well, I haven't even noticed you trying to be a home guard.
Perhaps not, but really I have. Every day here I've been working on something for the platoon so they could put one over on Major Wallop, but even my tank won't work.
Tank? I knew it, Sam. He's going crackers.
Oh, it's true, all right. Come and have a look if you want.
Well, I'll be jiggered. It is a tank, and you made it yourself?
Well, me and Irene together.
But what of?
My old breakdown truck and bits of odds and ends are picked up, and Joe helped quite a lot. Thanks, Joe.
Me?
Yes, that corrugated iron in your backyard.
Oh, so that's where it's gone. That was for my new chicken house.
Ah, but that was for the platoon.
Well...
You can have it back. I'll be dismantling it tomorrow. It's a pity. It might have been rounding up Jerry's. Still, it can round up your chickens.
I'm not so sure about that. I think we've got something here, George. Let's have a look inside.
Well, it's very hush-hush, but neither of you have got a camera, so...
How do you see where you're going, George?
Well, under heavy fire. Through the periscope, see?
My word, that's clever.
Yeah, otherwise through the slits.
Slits? Ho-ho! But why'd you say it won't go?
Well, that's the snag, you see. If I had a rotor arm, all I'd have to do was to switch on the engine, press the starter, and... Hey, you. Come here. You kept one after all.
Yes, George.
My word, that was a quick getaway, George. I thought you said it wouldn't go.
Well, that's what I thought I said, too.
Well, I never should have thought it of you, George.
I'm a proper little tinker when I get cracking.
This tank of yours puts Minor Wallop right on top. Corporal.
Did you say corporal?
Yeah.
2?
Yes, 1 for each arm.
Oh.
Now, you're corporal in charge of the mechanized unit.
Yes, Sam, sir. Any orders?
Clean the tank up and take it down to platoon headquarters.
Aye, aye, sir. And from now on, the challenge will be advanced and be mechanized.
Carry it, Corporal!
I'm not a corporal yet, you know. I haven't got any stripes.
There you are. Stripes 2, Corporal for the use of.
It's worth 2 more, isn't it, Sam?
All right. Now, look here, George, my lad. We've got to decide when and where your tank would be of most use in the exercise.
Ah, but first I want to take her on a trial run to make sure she's in fighting trim.
Why not run her down to Major Wallop and back? Make those chaps sit up a bit, eh?
Yes, that's a good idea.
What, and show them your trump card before you played it?
They'll know all about that by then. The tank's already been through the village, hasn't it? And you know news travels in these parts.
You said it.
Now, if we take the tank to Major Wallop, what will it do?
Break down, probably.
You talk like a wet lettuce. It'll lower the morale, create alarm, turn the beer sour, and when the operation starts, Wallop, Mrs. Cox, your mother's won a duck.
Fine, come on, believe the boy's improving. Come on, Joe.
T-A-N-K. I tell you, he has.
OK, thanks. I'll be seeing you.
Anything important?
Sounds a lot of Tommy Rot to me, but Alice has just...
Alice?
Yes, the barmaid at the Bull's Head. She says they've got a tank.
A tank?
Huh. George has made it.
George, you mean? Oh!
Yes, I think I'll take a look at it just the same.
Do you hear that, lads? George has made a tank.
Good shot, George. That's got him all right.
Hello, Everett.
Look at my bike.
Give him a post-war credit for it, Corporal.
Because if you will go charging a tank on the wrong side of the road, you're bound to come unstuck.
Tank? Hold on, you mean? You'll hear more about this.
Ah, and you'll hear more about the old iron. Oh, hello, Mary.
You got it to go, then?
It rather ticks over like a rolls.
With or without a rotor arm?
Didn't Everett tell you? Oh, yes, he found his rotor arms bouncing about like bees in his bonnet. Or was it ants in his pants?
You dry up.
It's come off.
When you two have quite finished arguing, maybe you'll get a move on. How do you expect me to sell saving stamps with everybody stuck round your tank?
Well, and the selling? Oh, we'll soon alter that. What you need is publicity. Let me be your press agent. Now, Mary, be a good girl and help Mary. Excuse me. Now walk up, walk up. This way for the Minor Wallop Wonder. Step this way, step inside and see the works. See Major Wallop through a periscope. This is no catchpenny, folks. We're not here today and gone tomorrow. We're here today and gone tonight. One of those things secures admission. Now, you'll never regret it. You'll never forget it. Walk up, walk up. Now, come on, lads, turn it up. Knock it. Don't rush there. Come round here. Form a queue this side. You'll get in much quicker. Come on.
Ah, doing a bit of intelligence work, eh, Al?
Well, I'm always ready to learn something new, if you can call that intelligence. It's a grand bit of work. I wish we'd got it. That lad's to be congratulated.
Yes, you're right.
How we doing, Mary?
Fine, you've missed your vacation.
Oh, no, I'll get 2 weeks in November. I've got another good idea. Or is it daft?
The St. Louis blues, the bye-bye blues, I've had 'em all, the big and small, they all were good, you must allow. But oh, brother, there's another now. I've got the Home Guard blues, I've got the Home Guard blues. On sentry go in the dark. If it's wet, the water trickles down your neck to where it tickles, and the raindrops ooze through your socks and shoes. If you're feeling on the black side with the wind around your ear hole, then you've got those Home Guard blues. I've got those Home Guard blues. I've got the Home Guard blues. On sentry go in the night, when the sergeant's wife a beauty whispered, you must do your duty, how could I refuse his wife to amuse? But she found me rather lacking, then said, come on now, get cracking, or I'll get those Home Guard blues. Then I'll go into my dance for you.
Operation orders, lads. Back to headquarters. See you on the field of battle.
Ah, and get your white flags ready, because you'll want a lot of them.
Bye-bye, Mary. Don't take any wooden money.
Goodbye, George, and very many thanks. May the best side win.
Nice of you to be cheering for us.
I can't ride back. Beat. I'm dead beat.
Come along, Alice. Here's to the tank.
All right, the tank.
The tank. Miss Wright.
Now, George, your orders are that you take your tank over to Batchwood, park it on the eastern side by the ruined cottage.
Well, when do I shove off?
0 hour, 1900 hours.
No, now, don't tell me. Let me do it myself. I've got it 8 o'clock.
Pull yourself together, man. 7 o'clock.
That's right, 7 o'clock. I'd added 1 or 2 many.
Now, George, you've got your orders clear?
Yes, I take my tank to Batchwood at 0 hour. Then what do I do?
Well, you don't go blackberrying, depend on that. If you see 100 of the enemy, fire at will.
How will I know which is will?
Fire at random.
Will he be there too? Oh, I know what you mean.
Now, as the attack develops...
Yes?
And we get an idea of the enemy's dispositions...
Yes?
I shall probably deploy the whole of my armor to the north of the village.
Yes. The whole of what?
The tank.
Oh, I didn't recognise myself. I'm getting so excited, my shirt's flying up and down my back like a Venetian blind.
Now, George, battle dress, remember, and ration for 24 hours.
Hey, Sam, 24 hours? Well, in that case, you better do me a bottle of beer and 4 dozen sandwiches.
Yeah, don't stint yourself. You might get hungry during the night.
Oh, don't worry. I can always go blackberrying.
And stop that before it gets started.
Hey, you, out. Hey, she struck me.
Here, don't you touch me. I'll have our band round after you.
Well, that's about the only chance we'll ever have of seeing him, eh?
Anyway, he's got to be round tonight without fail.
Oh, aye, that's 1900 hours. That'll be 7 o'clock to you.
And the same to you, but this isn't our Ben's night for being round.
This is everybody's night for being round.
What, everybody?
Yes, 7 o'clock prompt.
All right, I'll be round.
Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs.
George, make it snappy. Yep.
No, by the eastern end of Batchwood, where the ruined cottage is, that's where he'll be. He's leaving at 7, that's 0 hour, whatever that means.
Nice work, Alice. I'll take you. Buy you some chocolates as well.
What?
There's no mistaking your ugly voice.
Now, look here, Manley. Here's the news, and this is Sam Elliott reading it. You'll be seeing George's tank all right today, but not in Batchwood. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. There's your cards and there's your money. You can catch the 6:48 and you needn't take a return ticket. Psst, go on, buzz off.
I never did like your smelly old pub anyway.
Well, it'll get an airing now you've gone.
Pretty friendly with this Alice girl, aren't you?
Well, there's nothing in it, if that's what you mean. She comes in useful now and again for a bit of information.
Very useful, I should say, but it didn't quite work this time.
I've got an idea. It's a corker.
Oh, what is it?
It's something that can't miss. Now, you stop worrying about the tank and let me deal with it in my own way.
That suits me. I've got plenty else to worry about. Come on.
Now, understand, George, Bailey's Farm. I should go with the top road.
No, Sam, not the top road. Round by the old mills near us. What do you say, George?
I've got a quicker way than that.
Oh, what's that?
That's the tank fly.
You mean crow?
I mean tank.
Hello? Military headquarters? A German tank has just been sighted in this area.
Yes. What makes you think it's a German tank?
Well, it's entirely different to any British type on our Home Guard tank charts. It's got a circular turret.
Oh. When and where was this tank seen?
A few minutes ago, between Major and Minor Wallop. Who am I? Major Wallop, Home Guard. Telephone number? 383. Yes? Thank you, sir. All right, I'll take that. Hello? Major Wallop, platoon headquarters speaking. Yes, that's quite correct, sir. It was us who telephoned you the message about the enemy tank. Yes, sir? Very good, sir. Goodbye.
Did you say enemy tank?
As far as you're concerned, I said nothing, understand?
All right, all right.
Certainly not one of ours. All right, up with
go, yeah?
How's that on fire?
Well and truly out. But who are you?
Me? Minor Wallop Armoured Corps.
Well, I award you possession of Major Wallop headquarters.
You mean I've won battle?
Yes. Your method was a bit unorthodox, but that's all of the good in the Home Guard. You showed initiative.
And can I have this little lot thrown in as well?
Take your hands off there.
Foul! Foul! Ref, send him off. He's dead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm very glad nothing more serious has happened. You were just in time to put us right.
What's been going on here? And what's this about a German tank being reported to military HQ?
German tank?
Search me. How should I know?
Think again, Mr. Manley. I was in the office, don't forget.
Oh, come on, Everett. I'm waiting.
Well, I only did it for a joke.
A joke? Joke, eh? Getting me shot up from all sides with live ammunition till I felt like target for tonight. You like a joke, don't you? Well, laugh this off, though.
Stand down, everybody. The show's over. Headquarters has been taken by this fella.
And you did it single-handed?
Well, with the help of old Waltzing Mary.
Had a bit of a rough house, haven't you, George?
Rough house? That's putting it mild. He had a proper field day. She may look a bit like one of the ruins that Cromwell knocked her barely bit, but I captured this joint all right with her.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
Thanks. Sergeant?
Yes.
Me, Sergeant? I must be asleep. Sam, you deserve a present for this. I've got the very thing for you. Here you are, Sam, a present from Daddy.
The Vickers. By George.
By George is right.
And from now on, I'm going to see that this gun is for the sole use of Minor Wallop.
Wait, I don't think you'll have to bother with that now.
What do you mean, sir?
Well, Major and Minor Wallop platoon are going to form a new company in the battalion.
What?
And in future, you'll do your training together and share all weapons. And I can see you forming a jolly fine company.
So can I, sir. How about it, Alf?
That's right. We'll take on anybody.
That's the stuff. And from what I've seen of you fellas in training, I know you're going to give Jerry the biggest shock of his life. If he ever tries any funny business over here.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure we will. And while we're waiting for him, Alf, how about taking on that Midgley crowd, eh?
Aye, we could take on Midgley.
Yeah.
Come in the office, lads. I tell you what, Sam, we'll fix up a show with them for next Sunday right now.
Yes. Come on, boy.
Well, what about it, George?
Uh-oh, you back again, eh? I'll bet you've knocked a few back this last hour and a half.
Never mind me, George. You're not doing so bad yourself. 3 stripes, a nice girl next to you, everybody out of the way.
Except you.
Okay, I'll go and have one for the road. But you know what I mean.
I know. Get cracking. Bye-bye.
Thank you.